think you need more wine.
I do.
Hi, everyone. Today, I have in the studio Lucy B. Perga. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. She is a impressive, incredible, self-taught bathing suit and costume designer, and she makes all her stuff. She makes crazy online sales. She like throws up all these cute pictures on Instagram that I slavishly follow because they're all so pretty. And one of these days, I'm going to get myself down to Lucy B bikini size. It's going to happen. Watch. All right, it's going to happen. But so many of you are self-taught. So many of you cannot go to university and have asked me for, I get a lot of emails. Zoe, is it possible to become a successful designer and not go to school? And I never knew the answer to that because I went to school, and so I can only speak of my own experience. So I had been hoping to get a self-taught designer in the studio. So I have brought, ta-da! And don't forget to stay to the very end because we have an exciting giveaway, and I'm going to share the details of that giveaway at the very end of the video. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Lucy B. I'm a swimwear designer for the past 7 years, and that's all I've been doing. I'm a mom. Pretty simple.
All right, so you do swimwear, and then you also do Halloween costumes.
I do.
Those are super fun.
Yes, those are fun.
I love the Lilu one.
Yeah, that's one of my best sellers. I love that, and I sell that all year round because they have the like cosplay or Comic Con conventions, and so people love that all year round.
That movie has become such a classic, like all the characters and everything. I love it. Yeah, I love your stuff because, you know, stretch fabric is like a special beast by itself. And I've made one swimsuit my whole life and it didn't go well.
No.
And so when other people do it, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Something I can't do. It
takes lots of practice.
That is hilarious. That is the theme of my whole channel. And I don't know if she knew that because she doesn't watch my channel on the regular, and yet she says the same thing that I always say to you guys. All right. I didn't pay her to say that, by the way. I totally did not. I looked on your website. I read your bio. It's very short. Tells me nothing.
Yeah, I don't like talking about myself. I really don't.
I know. I love how I got you in here anyway.
I know.
We're going to drag it out of you. All the details. All right. So please tell my audience how you got started.
I've been sewing since I was a little girl. I used to hand sew everything. The first swimsuit I made, I was about 9 or 10 years old. I cut up a nightgown and I hand stitched together a bikini, and I got in so much trouble for ruining my nightgown. And I just started from there. It was always a hobby I did on the side, and I just loved doing it, and I never stopped. And one day made a real swimsuit after messing with dresses and skirts for a long time, and I just found my niche and it just worked.
Nice. So you didn't go to school?
No, I did not. I went to school for hair and makeup.
Yeah?
Yeah,
How was that?
I worked in a salon for a little while after, and I hated it. I didn't like touching strangers. You know, when you first start doing hair and stuff, you take walk-ins at the salon, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. So I was like, need to find something else to do. So I just kept sewing. So both of my grandmothers sewed, and so I was always around their sewing boxes, sewing machines. Literally the only class I ever took my whole life was it was like a sewing class in high school, and that's when I learned how to use a pattern, and I made some dresses, and that was it. My foster mother, who I lived with at the time, bought me my first sewing machine because she saw I was really into it, and that's how it started. It was a lot of trial and error and a lot of practice, and I just taught myself how to do it all. I would take things apart. I'd buy something from the store and take it apart and see how it was made, and I'd just try to duplicate it. And I just kept trying and ended up where I am now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter and I tweeted this thing about when you go shopping with a fellow fashion designer, it's always hilarious, like what we say back and forth to each other. And then someone had tweeted at me saying that they were a design student and what did they say? It was like borderline embarrassing how much she like looks at the fabric and feels all the fabric and looks at all the stitching. And I wrote back saying, no, that is the opposite. Like, you should not be anywhere near embarrassed. That is like the perfect way to shop when you're trying to figure out clothes. And, you know, I've been working in the industry for, I think, like 20 years. I'm old. But I still do that because I'm still fascinated. If you guys were following me on Instagram, I was at the museum in New York a while back. And you know, whenever I go to museums, it's a really terrible idea when the dresses aren't behind glass, because I just want to like reach over and start like looking
see how it's made. Absolutely.
And so if the glass is not there, just stop me. I'm like walking around like hands in pockets like, Zoe, don't touch the things.
No
Zoe,
way.
don't touch the things. Like, where's the security guy? Don't touch the
I
things.
just need to see how that was made.
So yeah, you like took things apart and looked at the inside and figured your way out. Wow.
I did, yeah. Lots of trial and error.
And then so at what point did you have your first sale?
I think I started selling stuff pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did a lot of dresses and skirts, which I wasn't happy doing. And then I had a girlfriend who was doing a photo shoot. She was a model, and she wanted a specific swimsuit, and she knew that I liked to sew, and she brought me this picture and was like, can you please make this for me in a specific color? And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I did it, and it came out perfect, and I was like, I'm like really good at the swimwear thing. So I started buying more fabrics and playing around, and then the girl at the fabric store that I used to shop at, she was like, have you ever been on Etsy? Do you have an Etsy shop? And I was like, no, what is that? And I looked it up, started my shop, and I think within a year, I was able to quit the job that I was working full time, and my shop just took off all of a sudden.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is a super short time.
I know. Yeah. And
wow.
So that's all I've been doing for the past 7, almost 8 years now, is working from home, living off my Etsy shop.
That's incredible. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a lot of hard work. I work a lot. I work all the time. I love to sew. That's my thing. Everyone always asks me, well, why don't you expand, do manufacturing, have people sew for you? And I'm like, that's just going to suck it all out of me. Like, that's what I like to do, is sit there and sew all day. I have my TV with my Netflix, and I like to create. That's my thing. So that's why I've got bumps all over my hands from my scissors, but that's what I love to do. I don't want anyone else to do it for me. I want to sit there and sew the swimsuit.
So you want to stay small? Because
I do.
Otherwise,
and I will.
It's more about like running a business and not doing the making.
Yeah, and then, what am I gonna do? Like, I love to sit there and sew, and that's all I want to do.
Nice. I love that you just like made it work. This is your thing. This is your favorite thing. And so I know a lot of people are so eager to expand and make a ton of money, but you're like, no, this is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Which was going to be my next question was, what are your favorite and least favorite things about what you do? So your favorite thing is the sewing.
Yeah.
And least favorite?
I don't think I have a least favorite part. Working all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe would be my least favorite. It gets really exhausting for spring and summer.
Oh yeah.
I'm a slave to my sewing machine. But at the same time, that's what I want to do. I like doing it. I can't imagine doing anything else.
So how are you during the slow season? And what is your slow season? Because here's the thing that I always find amusing is, you know, when you look at traditional fashion cycles and how things are sold in boutiques and department stores, they sell in advance. Like Resort gets sold in like January, right? Do you find that people are buying a lot of swimsuits in January?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It starts picking up for me right after Christmas. Literally the day after Christmas, it's on. I'm on spring and summer mode.
Wow.
Yeah. So my slow season isn't really slow because it's summer somewhere else in the world.
The beauty of the internet.
Yeah. And so I've sold in 9 different countries so far.
Nice.
No, excuse me, 29. 29 countries. And
that's amazing.
so it is a little slower during our fall and summer in America, but it's summertime in Australia when we have winter, and I get lots of Australia orders, and so it's slower, but I'm still getting orders.
Okay, just so like my viewers can get an understanding of the seasons. So here in the US, Northern Hemisphere, you start getting busy right after Christmas. I'm assuming that's like resort season, and also I think a lot of the time after the holidays are over, people are like, okay, I'm done with winter. Let's go and like do someplace warm. Yeah. And so they prep for spring break, they prep for summer break, and then your US sales slow down in the fall?
Yes, they slow down in November, actually.
Okay.
Since I do Halloween, I still get a lot of swimwear in October and September and August. It really doesn't start slowing down until November.
Okay.
And it's really just like a month and a half where I'm kind of just like, doo-doo-doo. So that's when I shop for new fabrics. I try to make new designs and have a little bit of downtime.
When do things start picking up in Australia? Like when do your sales kind of ramp up there?
Early December.
Okay.
Yeah. I think their summer solstice is around the 20th, and they start shopping early. Yeah.
Do you see any trends in what different regions like? Like, what are your best sellers in Australia versus your best sellers here?
No, but that's a really good question. I should really sit down and pay attention to that. No, I think I probably get more 2-piece, more sexier orders in Australia.
I've heard that Europeans also dress more risque on the beach than Americans do typically.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wine. Time for wine. Can you share with us a career low point and how you overcame it and what you learned from it?
Absolutely. There was, I think in my 3rd year of doing swimwear after it took off, there was a point where I was getting too many orders that I could handle on my own. I ended up canceling a lot of orders, refunding, and getting a lot of bad feedback on my Etsy. And so that was really low point for me, and I've turned it around ever since. But that was really hard. I think getting my first negative feedback on Etsy, I took personal, very personal, because that's my life, and I do take it very personal. Yeah, but I've bounced back and I've learned from my mistakes, and I understand the amount of work I can handle and what I can't.
Do you have like a go-to person if you like just to help you fulfill your orders when you're super, super busy?
No.
Or do you just kind of like, do you have a way of slowing down orders when you get nuts? Or
yeah, I can just click vacation mode on my shop and just take a minute. But I actually have not done that yet. I'm all about my work. So now that I had that 1 year where I saw how much it could pick up, I'm just prepared for it. I know that I'm going to have no personal life. I'm going to be up all night because I do want to fulfill all my orders, and I want to take as many orders as I can take and get them out. But I do know that if I need to, I can put my thing on vacation mode and take a moment, or I'll message my clients and let them know I'm a little late. And most of the women who shop with me, they've been with me ever since I started. So most of them understand I get really busy. And if I just send someone a message like, I'm just going to be a few days behind, they're like, no problem, take your time. And I've been working through it.
So you have a lot of repeat customers?
Oh, yeah.
That is the best sign. Repeat customers.
Yes.
Because they already know what they're getting. They want it again anyway.
Yes, they're the best. They're my favorites. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wine. Whenever I brain fart, it's wine. Although I don't drink, so I just encourage everybody else to drink. On the flip side, can you tell us about a career highlight?
I think that my career highlight at this point is my swimwear was featured on Aubrey O'Day. She's like a pop singer. She was on Making the Band like way back in the day with Puff Daddy.
Oh my God.
So
wow. But that's a big deal.
Yes. So when I was growing up in high school, I used to watch her on that show and I used to love her. I had pictures of her on my walls. Like I just thought she was the cutest. I really admired her. And so when MySpace started, I was her friend on MySpace. I'd send her messages. I've had her pictures on my profile. And that's when I started doing swimwear stuff and posting my work on MySpace. And she would comment on it, and then eventually I hooked up with her and her assistant, and they wanted swimwear. And so for the past few years I sent her swimsuits every summer, and she did a photo shoot in, I think it was USA Today, or not USA Today, it was one of those
Us Weekly people.
Yeah, I think it was Us Weekly. I have it at home. And she had a spread and it was all in my swimsuits, and so that was really cool for me. Yeah,
that sounds awesome. Especially since you've been like
I was a fan
from before.
Yeah, so that was like
MySpace.
It. Yeah. I would not be where I am now if it wasn't for MySpace.
Yeah?
Yeah. Eventually I turned my MySpace profile into designer page, and I'd have everything set up so people could like order if they sent me a message. And I actually still have some of my clients who were with me back in MySpace and would send me cash through the mail who still order from me today.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I love MySpace. Yeah. That's how I really started it. Yeah. I love the internet.
Yeah, the internet is amazing, but I don't know of anyone who has like catapulted their MySpace profile into current like actual success. That's incredible.
I did.
I just find it incredible that within a year you're able to quit your job and do this full time. I'm so impressed.
I work really hard. Yeah.
I love that you say that though, because I think like, you know, like throughout this interview, you've been kind of focusing on, I work really hard. I work all the time. I work around the clock. I practiced until I figured it out. And it's like, I promise I did not pay her to say these things. It's just that's just reality. That's like real people making it happen in the industry. They understand that it's not about being an amazing personality and looking pretty.
No, I'm so awkward.
Lucy is totally pretty, but that is not how she got famous and wonderful and like making amazing bathing suits. Like just, she got in trouble ripping apart a nightgown. Yeah. Come on now. I love that story. So, because we are focusing on helping my viewers who do not have the opportunity to go to school, do you have any advice specifically for self-taught designers?
Yeah, I would say never give up. Don't ever give up and keep trying, and you're probably going to fail, but keep trying. I never stopped. I failed. I made some horrible swimsuits. I was really discouraged. I, made some customers mad, and I just learned from my mistakes, and I just kept trying. And any little money I had, I would go to the fabric store and just buy a little bit of fabric and try to make something. Or I would go to the mall and just go browse in the swimwear section or dresses and just see how things were made and just go home and try to recreate it. I wasn't shopping or doing anything like that. I was just thinking about how I could better my work, and I just kept trying and trying.
You heard it from the lady herself who makes her living being a self-taught designer. Yeah, like I would like to second the whole like going shopping and looking at stuff. You know when I tell y'all like all the time, get off the internet and go to the store?
Yeah, that's what I did.
There are so many things. I mean, the internet is great for a lot of things. MySpace, Etsy, this YouTube channel. But there are just things that the internet cannot teach you. And that is feeling clothes in your hand and putting them on your own body and feeling how it fits when you move and what seams look like when they're done right, and different pockets, and how sometimes pockets feel awkward if they're sewn into your jacket wrong, and people assume that if you're working with stretch fabrics that the fit is easy. It's not, because things can
Oh,
pull and and
Yeah.
like ruffles can like sit funny if they're
Yeah.
bunching with the elastic, and so you have to figure all that out too. And I mean, here's another thing I admire about you is like women hate shopping for bathing suits. And so you are already starting with cranky women.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a very touchy subject. Absolutely. I learned that after I had my son. It was like, okay, I don't want to show my stomach anymore, but there's no more cute swimwear, so I need to make something for myself because I didn't like what I was seeing, or things don't fit, or if you're buying a one piece and you've got a long torso, but everything is made a certain way, so you can't wear them. So it's like, well, what do I do?
Yeah. So you start with these cranky women. Typically, like, you have two groups. You have people who are happy with their bodies and they're like, I'm going to buy a swimsuit. Yeah. And then people who are like, I need one because you need a swimsuit. Like, you're going to the pool, you're going to the beach, whatever. And you're just like, I saw your rating on Etsy. You're slamming it. Yeah.
I worked really hard for that rating. Yeah. I think I have almost, if not over 1,000 reviews right now, and I think I'm at 4.5, almost 5 stars. But even still, when I get a bad review, I'm like, oh my god, like, what can I do to fix it? And it sucks. But what can I do? Yeah, you can't please everyone. Even if my work was right, somebody just didn't like the way it fit on them and looked, and it sucks.
So get to work, y'all. Get to work. That if you learned anything from Lucy today, it should be get to work. Occasionally get off the internet and go look at things and practice. And I mean, you said you started on a home machine. Same. I did too. Okay. You don't need fancy equipment to get started. As you make money, you can start incorporating new equipment. Like when I started this channel, like I was just telling Lucy, like when I first got started, I had this $15 tripod from Amazon, and I just shot in sunlight. And sometimes I had a desk lamp, like one I had from before. And like, just as I kept going and kept growing, I'm like, I got a little bit better. I got another lamp, things like that. So don't feel like you have to buy all this fancy equipment from the get-go to get started.
Yeah.
She started by using her own nightgown and a home machine.
Yeah.
I'm never going to let go of that story. I love it. Like, I just want pictures of you at that age to kind of like back up my mental image of you getting in trouble.
I know. I wish I still had that swimsuit. I don't. There's a bunch of books from when I was that age. I used to sketch everything out and write price tags next to them. Books and books. That's like what I used to do. I was like born for this. It's so weird.
Yeah, you were. I have a question. So how have you dealt with price increases over the years? Because you've been in business for a while.
And
so you have to deal with it. Right,
Fabric, shipping, prices for everything goes up.
Right.
I just raised my prices by 50 cents a piece this past winter, and I hadn't risen my prices in 3 or 4 years. I was just making do. When things went up, I would just kind of see, okay, well, what can I minimize or find cheaper fabric? Not quality, but I started doing more footwork and finding places locally instead of ordering online and paying double the price. Just doing more footwork, working harder to find a way to make it work. So I didn't have to increase it for everyone because everything goes up every year. And even I'm like, oh, this is all moving too fast. But I finally raised my prices this past year, but just by 50 cents a piece, which I don't think is much at all.
Here's a common, I think, concept that a lot of people think is when you get started, you have to kind of, we have like the traditional fashion calendar, right? Where spring, summer, fall, winter, you do these collections, you show these collections, and you either have wholesale buyers or you sell direct, but you have these seasons and you showcase these collections, and that's just like how you do them. And you have to like put together a merchandise collection with shirts and pants and jackets and stuff. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you've completely skipped over that.
Yeah.
You're like, that is not my jam. And
I literally do my own thing. I've always done my own thing. I don't go along with what everyone else does. I've been making it work my way.
I've been following you on social, like especially Instagram, since we met at that show. When was that? Like 2011?
2010, I think.
Yeah. So I've been following you on Instagram since then, and you just announce whenever you have something new, like whenever you want.
Yeah.
And I think that that's how people shop now more, because they don't follow the fashion calendar. It used to be people went shopping like in one family outing just a few times a year.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, every once in a while you'll be on Instagram and be like, I got this new fabric, who wants something?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I do it. And a lot of people occasion shop. So they're going to somewhere specific. So that's when they're looking for the swimsuit, because they're going to Vegas or they're going on a vacation last minute. So that's when they're shopping. I've never followed the calendar. And I felt a little weird about it for a few years. Because I think most of the designers swimwear, they do it like a year before and winter or something, and I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, I've got it now. This is what I've got a limited amounts. Order it and it's going to be gone, and I'm going to put out something new for you guys.
Yeah, that is the traditional calendar where you start designing the year before, and because you're working with a whole company and a team and a supply chain, but you have so much flexibility because you're on your own.
It's just me, yeah. I get to do what I want.
It's like, I feel like this is hot right now, so I can just cut like a dozen of these.
Yeah, I'm like, I would wear that, so I'm going to make it. I don't make anything that I personally wouldn't wear.
So how many swimsuits do you sew a week? You must be so fast by now.
I am really fast. 45 minutes and I'm typically done. Cut, sew, everything.
Are you with me right now?
I've been doing this for like almost 8 years. I've got it down. Yeah.
Shut up.
During my busy season.
That is so fast. I could never sew that fast. No. What the fuck? 45 minutes?
Yeah. So during my busy season, by 5 o'clock, the time I'm dropping all my shipments off, I'm either between 6 to 15 orders dropping off a day.
Shut up. That's a lot of practice, y'all.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, yeah, like I draw really fast. That's because I do it like every single freaking day of my life. But yeah, I can't sew that fast. Not even close.
See, and I skip the whole drawing thing. I don't draw. Like maybe like once every other year I might think it's a good idea to draw. So I draw something out and then I never go back to it.
So when you have a new idea, how do you do the product development?
I will just do it. I'll just think about how I want to do it and I'll just cut it and make it.
So even when you were much slower at the whole cutting and sewing, you just did everything and kind of put it on a mannequin or dress form, put it on you, and like pinned it, and you're like,
that's exactly, stabbing myself with pins all the time and things half naked because I'm taking things off and sewing it, putting it on, and it's a lot of work. Yeah.
Wow. Damn, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Wow. I've loved hearing your story today. Thank you for coming in. Because I know you're like, I'm awkward on camera.
I don't like the spotlight. I don't like it to be about me. I'm so like, I just want to work. And
you're not
the credit
in that much photos anymore. Like you used to be a little bit more, but now you have
when
models.
I was younger and I thought maybe it'd be cool to be like popular or like famous or something, but now I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I want my work to speak for me. I don't want to be in anything.
Yeah, you're hardly in your pictures anymore.
Yeah, I did shows, and that's when I realized I didn't like the spotlight. I don't like really being in the industry. I don't like mixing with them. It's so weird. I don't know. I like my work. This is what I like to do, is make things. So I try to stay out of the limelight. So like when you asked me to do this, I was kind of like, but I was like, oh, but she was really nice, and I really liked working around you when we did those 2 shows, and I was like, oh, well, I should just do it,
Yeah, but like, I think it worked out because like my channel like a lot of my viewers and me, we're fashion geeks. We're not, I mean, I'm not in fashion to hobnob with famous people and go to cocktail parties.
No.
Like, even though I don't like sewing, like on the other spectrum of things, I love the craftsmanship. I love people, like, I'm so impressed that you can sew a bikini in 45 minutes. That like blows my mind. And I love it when people can draw really well. I love it when people can like cut an amazing pattern. Like, that's the stuff about fashion that I love the most. And I love having makers in my studio talk about process and not like, I went to this party and let me name drop some people and, you know, like,
Yeah, no.
and I think a lot of my viewers, like, you know, want this information because there's enough of the Vogues out there that are like, oh, we had this gala, and I'm like, I don't care.
Sitting high in their castle and not doing anything. Yeah.
Like, I would
do that.
Like, I would like to send a dress to the gala, but I don't want to go there. Yeah, like I'm like, oh my God, that sounds exhausting. But let me send you a ball gown.
Right.
I'm totally down for that.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah, I think my clothes have been in way more fabulous places than I have been physically.
Me too.
I'm totally down with that though. I'm like, yes. That's my ambassador.
That's the rewarding part. Yeah. It's like, that's my work there.
And like,
that's
send me many pictures. And they send me all the pictures. I'm like,
yeah.
That's the best.
Yes.
That's the best. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Drink more wine. Okay. On to the giveaway. Lucy has agreed, out of her amazing, generous heart, to offer a free bathing suit of your choice to one lucky viewer. Yay! So here's how it works. Number one, go to one of Lucy's many social media sites. I'm going to drop all the links in the description box. Her Facebook, her Instagram, her website. Go to one of those sites. Check out her bathing suits and pick one to illustrate. Okay? Do not illustrate your own design. Don't go and do some crazy other illustration. Illustrate one of Lucy's bathing suits, but you can illustrate in whatever style you want, whatever medium you want. Just make sure it's one of her bathing suits, and then post it on Instagram or Twitter with hashtag LucyBZoeHong giveaway. Don't post it on any other social media because the hashtags don't work. It's a pain in the butt to track. Instagram and Twitter, that's where we're going to be tracking. And then Lucy herself will select the winner. I do not select the winner so that I cannot be accused of favoritism. She's gonna pick the winner. And then you get to select a bathing suit from any of Lucy's existing styles. And then I will get you guys in touch with each other. You can give her the measurements, your measurements, or if you're gifting it to someone, their measurements, and she will cut and sew to those measurements. That's the giveaway. Exciting business, right? Go look at her website. Her suits are super cute. I'm so excited to do this giveaway with Lucy. Yes. So, hashtag LucyBZoeHong giveaway. Illustrate one of Lucy's gorgeous bathing suits and enter for a chance to win one of your very own. Questions? Leave them in the comments. Yeah, if you have any questions for Lucy, drop those in the comments and I will tap her shoulder to see if she can answer them. Any last parting words?
No. That's so awkward.
I know, but you're not, you're like, I am a business person and I like to sew. I'm not a personality. I'm like TV
no, I'm
personalities.
not a personality.
You know what? It's like, we've had all range of awkward and not awkward. I don't interview people based on like whether they're a snazzy personality, okay? I'm not gonna have Ryan Seacrest up in this shit, okay? That's not my jam. I like real working designers in my studio to interview. You guys know that, right? So you guys know the drill. Enter the giveaway. Even if you're not entering the giveaway, get back to work. You heard Lucy. It's all about practice, in-person research, putting in the hours. And no, I did not pay her to say those things. She just agrees with me without even knowing she's agreeing with me. All right, hashtag always be practicing, and I will see y'all in the next video. We're good.
Hashtag always be practicing.
Yeah.
That is so perfect. You really picked the right person.
I know, when you started talking, I was like,
literally.
Yeah, so I have 3 hashtags that I use constantly in my social media, and like I sign off my videos in turn. It's hashtag always be practicing, hashtag practice not magic.
So true.
Because my classroom motto was, we are not made of magic, we are made of practice.
It really is, yeah.
Because I would do a demo and my students would always be like, oh my God, Zoe, you're made of magic. I'm like, no, I've been drawing since I was 5 years old.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
And then the third one is hashtag if your first one sucks, you're right on track.
Yeah.
Because everyone, like, I don't know, people are always like, you're never gonna, like, the first one never is good.
Yeah.
But you have to do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's the newest
Absolutely.
one that I'm gonna start incorporating is do it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, your first one sucks. My first one sucked. Your first one
yeah,
sucked.
I don't even want to see my first swimsuit. My first real swimsuit. That's probably terrible.
Yeah, like everyone's first one sucks, but you did it, and that's what counts. It's like you just keep going.
Just keep doing it. Yeah.
I just recently posted a video showing my sketches from high school and college, and people were losing their shit. They're like, dude, you're awful. I'm like, I know. That's why I showed you. I would have showed you older stuff. I just didn't hold on to it. So I literally do not have that to show, but I would have shown it to show you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I've been drawing since I was 5. This is how awful I used to be. And you guys know what my work looks like now.
You have to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, my whole channel is all about that.
Awesome.